Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the One Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my amazing co-host, Scouse Andy. How are you, mate? All right, bud?
Yeah, I'm good, pal. I'm good. How are things with you, man?
All good, mate. Yeah, busy week at work as always again, but yeah, it's glad we've got a bank holiday coming up, which will be quite nice. Do you know what I mean? It'll be here I am looking like I'm on the news. You know what I mean? What's going on? But yeah,
You're not that BBC guy, though.
No,
Hugh Edwards.
Hugh Edwards. No. That's a different pod, that mate. Yeah, we're not
that's
talking about that.
That's Saturday nights, that one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Patreon pod, Patreon. But yeah, all good. Jesse's got his passport, so that's all good. So well done, Jesse.
Looks like he's claiming like he's on Interpol's most wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, shout out to Jesse, Annie, and in the chat, Ian. We've got that as part of one of our questions, mate. So we'll get into that. It's a bit of a mailbag episode, so thank you to everybody who's joining us, and we appreciate you being here. As always, we'll start with our sponsors. So we are Dunstable Town FC's Talk of the Town podcast. We are their sponsor for the 25-26 season as well. Also sponsored graciously by Oddballs. You can go across to myoddballs.com and go and have a look at their stuff on there. Also sponsored by Fusion Therapeutics, which is fusiontherapeutics.co.uk. Provide expert MSK assessments and treatments with a focus on holistic care dedicated to improving your well-being through tailored musculoskeletal health plans. The team offer specialist injection therapy and non-medical independent prescribing. So if you're in the Northwest, Manchester or Cheshire area, give the team a call on 01606 512 013, or you can book online and the team will be happy to advise you further on this affordable treatment solution. And the website has changed slightly, so we will give you an update. So if you really want to go and check them out, look in the bio and we'll make sure it's on there. It is northwich-physio.co.uk. So yeah, shout out to those over at Fusion Therapeutics. Right, news, mate. There's a bit of news, but not much news. It's the middle of May, hence why it's a mailbag episode. Susan V, thank you for popping in. Long time Commanders fan. It's great to have you listening to us, especially from San Antonio and Texas. Shout out to you. So nice of you to be here. There's a bit of news, not much news because it's the middle of May, obviously off season, so there's not a great amount going on. But Hard Knocks. Don't know if you watch Hard Knocks, Scouse. I'm an avid watcher of Hard Knocks. Obviously, love it all, love all the content. So I watched the Giants last year. I know you did too. And I also watched the AFC North one with all of the AFC North teams. I prefer the in-season one. And we've been chosen this year for the in-season one. The NFC East as a whole has been chosen for in-season Hard Knocks. So it ticks that box of getting Hard Knocks off the schedule, which we've been asking for quite a number of years. Obviously, every time we've tried, it's been a new head coach or something's gone on, or we've just not been chosen because we've not been that franchise. But what are your thoughts on Hard Knocks, mate? Because I've heard it both ways from a lot of fans.
Well, yeah, I'm down the middle with it as well, to be honest. I mean, yeah, there's pros and cons to it. Yeah, sure, we want to see the extra insights that goes on around the team and in and about the players, week to week, day to day. Which is going to be great for fans. However, that also can come with a caveat of that it could be a distraction and it could lead to poor performances, which again, that's the worry for me on it. I mean, as long as if it doesn't mess us up in any way, then I'm very happy to have it.
Yeah, I don't really have that take on it. I've got a different view to it. I think that these days, the players live their life through a lens. A lot of them go, live streaming on Twitch, Instagram, whatever else outside of football. And then while you're at work, yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from. But we mic players up these days. We've got social media cameras in there listening to DQ at the end. They're on the podium. So I don't really see what
it's in the sacred spots, though, isn't it? It's in the sacred spots. It's in the locker room. Everybody else is gone. It's it's all those other things. So there's a lot more. Normally players, as you mentioned there's so many different media bits that they've got to do. But then once they leave that, they've got this kind of inner circle where it's just them. Where now it's not. There's an extra cameras in there. See what I mean? So sometimes I can be a bit more kind of looking over the shoulder a little bit. Don't come across as a dick. Those type of things.
Yeah, I get that, and I mean it is what it is. It's the fly on the wall. I prefer the. I mean, Jesse said here, I'd rather have the training camp version. For me, I don't think I would, because you end up more involved in the darlings of the training camp, and then we've also got things like the in-season one is shorter because they're concentrating solely on the division, and it's towards the end of the season, and I think that helps with the schedule as well, going like New York, Dallas, Philly. Do you know what I mean? Towards the end of that season there. So yes, it's always short bursts. Yes, there is cameras there, but it didn't really affect the Ravens when you look at it that way last year. It didn't affect the Steelers as such. The Bengals were a basket case towards the end of the season, and then the Browns are just the Browns. So you know what I mean? It was what it was. But you don't really get that much time on there. But one thing I would say is, the way this franchise is going at the minute and the way we've moved on since Jaden Daniels is going, it's almost as if we are being pushed now as a bit of a media darling. I mean, do you agree with that, Scouse?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can tell by the amount of kind of, I wouldn't say primetime games, actual just individualized national televised games. I think there's 8, maybe even more.
Yeah.
If you don't count
it's
them,
it's 5, and then standalone games on top of that, isn't it? I think
so
7.
So I think that's why we're at 8. Yeah. So that's more than anybody else, I think, besides the Chiefs. So it's nice that we're getting that push, and plus we were in the semi-finals last year. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we've got to the championship game, so
that will kind of push it forward anyway. But I say we've got this not rookie anymore, but Jaden Daniels, and everybody wants a piece of him, So everyone wants to see what he's all about, what he's like when it's going wrong as well. What's his demeanor like in the locker room when you don't see it? You just see it like some cool, calm guy. Is he like that in the locker room as well, or is he not? And people want to know these little nuances.
Yeah, exactly that. Where took the words right out of your mouth.
And that's man.
Lawrence here's in the training camp version. He said it gives you underdog names to root for, which is cool. I agree with that, mate. I always do. I'm always look and think, the cuts one. I always want to watch the cuts one. Who gets cut, who doesn't. I mean, this year it's the Buffalo Bills. They're doing the full training camp one. A. Russ here said Hard Knocks is going to be great. Just book Madrid buzzing. Getting the platform we fans deserve is always good. Completely agree, and hopefully, mate, we'll see you in Madrid. Obviously, we're all booked up as well. And if you're not in Madrid and you're at the home opener, Red Zone lots where it's going to be at, we'll all be there. So I think last count, there's about 12 of us going out. But I think the UK and Ireland and Europe is pretty much descending on Madrid as it stands, especially Commanders, Redskins, Washington football team, whatever you want to call us, whatever you supported, whatever your fandom stems from. There's a lot going out. I mean, I
even Jesse's going.
I know Jesse's going. He's got his passport now, so he's all sorted. It's going to be a strange one because I think I've heard around about 1,500 people already that I know of are going to go, which is just crazy, especially from the UK.
We haven't got tickets yet. No one's got tickets yet.
I know.
People have already booked flights, hotels, and going. So
that's just just madness. It's madness.
That's awesome. That for kind of I say we haven't got tickets, we're not guaranteed anything, and we're all jumping out there anyway. So I mean, it'll be mad. It'll be mad
when we get out there. I mean, I've got no idea what it's going to be like. It's going to be crazy. Lawrence has been in touch with Real Madrid direct for hospitality and VIP packages out the end of June.
They won't be cheap, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Fair play. If you're going to do it, if you're going to do it that way, then fair enough. You know what I mean? No problem. I'll rush the gates. I'm getting in. Yeah. And Russ booked through the touchdown trips. I know that obviously. Rally Captain's got 50, hasn't he? He's got 50 tickets and 50 places to go. So yeah, I mean, don't
that's more.
He had more
before
50 more. So to use the team, put the deposits down. I don't know if that's ended now for season ticket holders, but yeah, hopefully we'll see you all out there. We've had at least 50 requests for hats and t-shirts and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be really good. I don't think about the cost, think about the experience. Fair enough, Lawrence. Totally understand.
Yeah, that is valid. I mean, to be fair, how many times are you going to go to the Bernabeu?
Yeah, true.
Probably
very true. Never.
I mean, I don't go to Liverpool away games because I can't get tickets, so I'm never ever going to go to Madrid, Bernabeu again. Really. I mean, Liverpool might get them a Champions League once in a while, even there. But I say,
as a Carlisle fan, I'm never going to go to.
Yeah, you're not getting. You're definitely not getting to Europe. Never mind flaming the Bernabeu. So,
I know. There you go.
Yeah, man. I'm not missing the boys. Yeah, of course, Russ. Yeah, man. I mean, we'll find a way of getting in, man. We'll find a way.
Going back to Suzanne's point here, she said, I like the Netflix series quarterback and receiver inside and off the field for 3 or 4 players, including now Commander Debo Samuel. Yeah, agreed. I really enjoy it. And this is kind of the content that we're getting at the minute. This is where we're going. We've got things like All or Nothing started with, then we have Hard Knocks, now we have quarterback, then we had receiver. And it just gives you that little insight into these players that we cheer for, we see every game, and we want to know a little bit more. And that's kind of how we are as individuals and as humans these days, and how we consume content. It's not all about long form content anymore. It's about short, sharp, what can I see now? And if we can see anything behind the curtain, that's what we want to see, isn't it? Birthday treat for Scouse. Put a limo on.
Limo for Scouse? Yeah, man. I mean, I'd be quite happy if you boys want to chip in and get me a limo. I might even let you inside it with me. Who knows? I mean, yeah, man. I mean, that'd be awesome. Now, imagine that. A limo, yeah. Flash, and then getting yourself in there. I'll come out with a pink suit on or something, like just walk around thinking
the international fan of the year needs a limo, of course. Come on, son.
Yeah, you're driving it.
Yeah, I'll get my driving gloves on. Yeah. Driving gloves.
The hat on and all that. So I'll come out with the pink suit, thinking of Billy Big Bollocks, and then I'll go into the top tier. With the what's it called? We just mentioned before. What Lawrence mentioned.
VIPs.
VIP areas. Yeah, man, that's where I deserve to be. Everyone knows that. And it's my birthday weekend as well, so I think you should pay him for Scotty.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think so, lad. But there you go.
Hey, let's get you on your pocket.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Other news then, mate, that's come out. Tush Push. Got to go through it, and obviously there were two rule changes at the owners' meetings. One was the Tush Push, and the other one was the playoff seeding. I think it was the Lions who put in the playoff seeding and said that potentially we should change playoff seeding, and then they withdrew the rule that they were trying to put through. Yes, I mean, I agreed with that actually in some ways. I think Jesse spoke about this as well on the Bleeding Burgundy with the other guys as well, and John. They talked about it the other night, saying, does it warrant winning the division? Does it warrant having a home playoff game? Especially when we look at like Minnesota last year, you win 12, 14 games, and then you're not guaranteed a playoff spot. But the NFC South gets a home playoff game when Tampa Bay Buccaneers get in like a 7-9 record or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So I think the idea on that one was that if you've got a higher seeded, a higher win rate, you should get a playoff spot. Now, I disagree with it slightly. I think if you win the division irrespective, you should get a playoff spot, but it shouldn't guarantee you a home playoff spot. It should be done on record.
I mean, don't forget though, we've had that benefit before as well.
We have, yeah.
Ron McGregor's first season, we were 7-9, won the division. Okay, lost to Tampa, I think it was. The Heineke pylon thing and all that. So we've also benefited from that as well. So I mean, that's just the way the rules are. And I think think about this. I mean, in the NFC East, to win our division, you've always got to get at least 10, 11, 12 wins. I mean, every year has that one. So has that one season of 7-9. Exactly. It's always 10, 11 plus every single year. It doesn't matter. To win our division, you've got to hit that. There's no way around it. Because even when Eagles aren't that good, Dallas are hitting 12 wins. Do you know what I mean? Like those things are happening. So I think that to win your division, you've earned that. Do you know what I mean? You've earned that home field advantage, and I think you should get that. So I'm happy with the same rules the way it is now. To be fair.
Okay. Other things is here. There's one other thing was the Tush Push. Obviously, it was debated by the league owners. It was 22 teams voted to ban it. It needed 24 teams to pass. 10 teams voted against. So the Eagles, the Ravens, the Browns, the Lions, the Jags, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans were the teams who voted against banning the Tush Push. Everybody else, obviously, voted against it. But look at that there. The only team, realistically, out of all of them 10 teams that is a contender is the Ravens, and they're in the AFC. It doesn't affect them until they probably would reach a Super Bowl. So, why? Why? I mean, the Lions, maybe. You could say the Lions are a contender, but they're in a really tough division. Do you know what I mean? The same as we are.
This year, I don't think they're going to be as good. I mean, they've lost head coach,
two coordinators,
offensive coordinator. So it could be a lot. It could be a lot of change going on there this year. So you don't know how good they're going to be. Got good players still, sure, but you just don't know about the schemes and stuff.
What's your thoughts on the Tush Push? We won't cry about it, but what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I'm not going to cry about it. Do I like that play? No. I mean, I think I've mentioned it many times on the show. I hate that play. I think it's a shit play. I don't even think it's a real NFL play. But, what can you do about it? Teams have tried to ban it. It's not been banned, so it's here to stay. You probably can't ask for it next year either to be banned. So it's just going to be carrying on now. It's just going to be part of the game, and we've got to find ways of sorting that out. And the thing is that it's very, very difficult to stop. The best way of doing it is obviously keeping Eagles out of third and short and fourth and short. I mean, but it's hard to do that. They're a good team, So to do that repetitively to get the ball back off them, it's very hard to do that. They're a good team. So the offensive line is very good. So they're always going to churn up yards on you. So it's a difficult one. Do I think it's fair? No. But at the end of the day, they're the ones who've mastered it, and everybody else has tried it. Can't do it as good as them. I think the Bills have tried a load of times with Josh Allen, and they can't get it right. They get stopped most of the time. So it's, there's technique to it for sure, but it's just kind of it's just a shit play. I just don't like it. I mean, it shouldn't be in the game, but it is, and that's what it is going to be. So
I think there is ways around this, and not necessarily banning the play. I think referees have to enforce the rules or the laws of the sport a little bit more. So I want to see more on neutral zone infractions. Especially when you're going into that, you know what I mean? Or if you've got, double blocks, centers are getting a block, a center and a guard is pulling at a nose tackle, for example. Like, let's just say, we put our new nose tackle in, and it's like, we've got bigger on the defensive line so that we can try and combat this play. And then it's like, right, we're not going to enforce neutral zone infractions. You have to. 9 times out of 10, you look at that, the centre is continually off in an offside position. And they're not enforcing it at all. So
you've heard there's normally more than one person who's in the neutral zone as well.
When we looked at the Frankie Louvu, when Frankie Louvu was jumping over the top constantly, and we looked at that play, how many times was Lane Johnson offside? Honestly, it was ridiculous. And then you think to yourself, okay, I get it, I understand it. What I really hope happens is during training camp, when these referees turn up to the training camp to give them a briefing to say, this is what we're going to enforce during the season, I hope that this is one thing that they're going to clamp down on, to say, well, we'll clamp down on it, and then it doesn't give you that natural advantage because they are offside. They're in an offside position. And nobody is talking about that at all. So maybe that's one thing that can negate the play.
I think somebody needs to bring it up. In the media, kind of a big name,
like a
load of clips and say,
look
at that offside, look at that one offside, look at that one offside. You know what I mean? Just pull them up so it gets more national coverage. People, and then maybe they shit themselves a little bit. They might change it themselves. Not the NFL, but
as referees,
referees or even just the players. Realize maybe they're not going to get away with it, so they won't try it. But as in being that close, but it is what it is. It's here to probably to stay and it's a shit play, and it's just very, very difficult to stop for any team, even if you get big on the line. As you say, they need 1 yard. They've got a strong quarterback, got very strong legs quarterback.
Yeah.
It's virtually it is nearly impossible to stop it. It's annoying.
Yeah, I agree. On to the last probable bit of news that we've got here, Terry McLaurin, is there a holdout? Now, he wasn't at practice yesterday, reported by Jordan Schultz. Terry has been every other day of the training camp, and this is the first day off. And
even
the
media circus,
and the media circus starts. Now, going back to Russ, his question on there, he said, is Terry on a holdout? I don't think Terry's on a holdout at all. I think he knows this offseason he is going to get a contract extension. They want to make him a commander for life. They weren't my words. They were the words of Adam Peters. So, when you've got someone in there who's not just a wide receiver one, Scouse, it's all about culture. It's all about he embodies what this team wants to be. And that is the point, isn't it? That when you've got someone who is a player like that, you can't just base it all around one player. If they moved on from him or they held out or didn't offer him a contract, I don't know how this fan base would take it, mate.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's like teammates as well take that personally too, even though it's not them. If Terry's one of their best friends and it's and he's one of the main leaders of the team, and all of a sudden you get him messed around by the higher office. They're like thinking, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here? And then that pisses you off, and then that alienates you, and then that spreads through the team, and that's the last thing you want. That's
not a good culture, then, is it?
No, exactly. It's going to it's all pissed off, and obviously it takes a long time to heal that, even if you can. Sometimes you have to get rid of 2 or 3 guys to be able to get rid of that, So, so you want to make sure everything's sweet, everything's happy, and you get them that signed pretty damn quick.
Agreed.
I think that's the best way of doing it.
So Jesse's saying 26 mil a year. I mean, that's a little bit of a hometown discount. That I think.
Yeah. You're hoping this is the last big contract. Yeah. So
you're looking closer. You're looking closer to 30, but I don't think it reaches 30. I think it might be like 28, that sort of range. Russ, I agree with you. Best commander since Sean Taylor. It's got to be done. Agreed. I mean, this guy's had absolute scraps for years of quarterback, and now the one time he gets a quarterback, look at what he did last year. He broke every record, from a franchise.
Well, he's finally got a quarterback.
Touchdowns. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. A real quarterback. Team has to be smart about his contract. Yeah, I get that, Jesse. He is getting older.
I mean, there might be a case of an out at like 2 or 3 years, or something like that. Rather than hammering him with a 4-year, fully guaranteed contract or something silly like that. But yeah, I think it's so important. It's so important to get him on there. Say he's one of the main team leaders, and it will piss players off if you start messing them around. Really
agreed. Yeah, totally agree with you. Completely and totally agree with you. Last thing we want to bring up in the news is condolences to the Indianapolis Colts organization as a whole, all of their fan base, and obviously anyone who's connected to Jim Irsay. We send our condolences to that fan base and that organization. Big loss, obviously, for them as Jim. I mean, yes, he's a lovable rogue. We've all took the piss a little bit, about how he's gone about things. But let's be honest, mate, he was the only one who stood up and said Dan Snyder did not deserve to be an owner. And as soon as he mentioned that and came out and said it, the wheels started rolling. You know what I mean? The pressure started mounting more and more on Dan Snyder. So I will be forever grateful for Jim Irsay for what he did, and when he came out and spoke to the media personally and said Dan didn't deserve to run.
Because nobody else wanted to speak to the media about it, did he? Jim Irsay ended up being the actual main spokesman for a couple of times over that saga. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So fair play to him. I mean, yeah, he was. He did have addiction issues, and to anybody who's been through that or had, had any addiction issues, we get it. Hate the addiction, not the person. But obviously, at the same time, he was a philanthropist. Is the word?
This guy. I mean, this guy must have had an amazing life, though. I know he's died earlier than say others, but he must have had an amazing life, though. I mean,
yeah,
even like, I mean, I read Pat McAfee wrote something on Twitter about it as well. How much of a cool, nice guy, genuine guy he was, and how he treated all his players like family, even when he retired. Give him all sorts of advice and how to make it, into the media game, into making more corn, stuff like that, and. And he wasn't even part of the team anymore. He said, if that doesn't work out, you can always work for us. That's what he said to him. It's just like a genuine guy. I mean, we heard the stories from the Colts fans when we were over in the draft, saying, when Jim Irsay would give $1,000 out to random fans who were kind of if they were there on a on a trip, and you just walk past him, you give them all $1,000, and you know go and spend it in the club shop, or even just not. You know, it's like, you know, it's just little things like that, but it makes a big difference and shows the character of the man, really.
Yeah, well, what I really liked was the fact that he gave every employee of the Colts on their birthday a card with $1,000 in it.
Oh, did he?
Irrespective of who they were, whether they were a cleaner, a chef, or they were like the fucking CEO. Do you know what I mean?
I know the Colts definitely give the international fans of the year $1,000. No, not the international fans, the actual USA fan of the year for them over the last few years. No, he's always been putting out money in. Whoever's in that group of those people there, he's always giving out money to these guys. And, you know, I mean, plus obviously everything else was free, you know, the free trip out and everything else. And, you know, it's just, it's just very, very generous guy.
Yeah, it shows the character of him, doesn't it? I mean, you know what I mean? To give away $100 million over your lifetime as well to charities and various different bits. You know, I'm not going to say that he was, you know, paint him in an absolute. He was, you know.
He wasn't like
he was golden.
But at the same, you know what I mean? But
yeah, but at the same time, it's we you know, anyone who's connected with their organisation, we our thoughts are with you. So I had to put that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Lucas Oil Stadium's the best I've been to. Loved all the extras in the stadium. I've never been to Lucas Oil. I would love to go, Lawrence. I'll have to. That's one on the bucket list.
I've driven past it, just not being in it.
Have you driven past? Oh yeah, you did. You went to Indianapolis, didn't you? So yeah,
Indianapolis. You drove right past it, but didn't have time to actually go around it. But yeah,
there you go. So we'll get into our fan questions then, mate, because it is a mailbag episode and there isn't a great amount to talk about. So it might be a briefer pod this week, but I'm sure we can manage another 27 minutes. We'll find it somewhere. Christian Burt's the first question. Shout out to Christian. If you want to go across and find his work, you can write in UKHTTC blogs. Does a lot of blogging on there. Really good guy. Also helping bleedingburgundy.com. You can go across and find some more write-ups on there from a lot of good writers. You know, and the guys from the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, including myself. So go and have a look at them two website. Christian is also your co-host on Red Zone in the UK, isn't he? When the season's on with Deuce. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Christian. He said, "Is there a surprise cut on the roster squad who doesn't make the final roster?" Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean it's very early for that. I mean it's
yeah, I think so too.
You just don't know who's even in part of the 90. Yeah, so never mind. You know, it's quite a tough one to kind of give you.
I think the rooms that you could probably look at, I would say, we are very heavy at running back, so potentially a McNichols or a Rodriguez won't be around, but would they be absolute surprise cuts? Probably not.
See, that's always my question. Would they be a true surprise cut if you thought, oh wow, you know, oh my god, C-Rod's gone? You know,
no,
you wouldn't be like, oh, use fourth stringer.
Yeah,
you see what I mean. So it's those type of. That's the problem with the true surprise cut. It's like it's got to be
maybe
from left
maybe
field.
A couple of the signings that we made on the offensive line, maybe because the depth might be there, or they might like an undrafted free agent we talked about last week. I mean, would someone like a Nate Herbig, who is a starter and on a lot of NFL teams, would he be a surprise cut? I mean, it depends on what you class as a surprise, Christian. It's really difficult at the minute, but unless you see someone really struggle in camp, I'm not sure that we've got enough depth throughout the team to have a surprise cut. Go on.
Brian Robinson.
No way. You really think so?
Hey, this guy.
Yeah, and we've got a question on that as well. But I don't think you wouldn't. You cut.
That'd be a surprise cut, though, wouldn't it? You wouldn't expect that.
That would be a surprise cut, definitely.
Yeah.
Hot take, Scouse there. I mean,
hot take right here for that one. Yeah.
Funnily enough, as seamless as that, we'll get into our next question, which is from the Podfather Carl Ronek. If you're not subscribed to the Burgundy Zone, where have you been hiding under a rock? Go and watch the goats of the podcast world. He said, "Will B-Rob have his best career season this year?"
Yeah,
not according to you.
I'm actually going to answer that. Yeah, you will. At a different team.
No. Yes. I think he's going to have a very good season, Kyle. Does he have it statistically as good as he's ever had? I'm going to say, yeah, he does. I'm going to say he has.
If he can't run with this better offensive line, mate, he needs to be cut.
That's a problem. That is a problem.
Do you know what I mean?
Then,
like,
yeah.
This has been an upgraded offensive line. But no, we've not seen it yet. How it's going to work together, how it's going to mingle. But player-wise, talent-wise, it's a lot better than it was last season. So he needs to be able to run through these, find these holes, or whatever he's got to do to get the yards. Because if he's not, he deserves to be cut. Simple as that.
One other question then relating to running backs, which we're on that topic at the minute. Canada Mike obviously had said, is Krosky Merritt about to become the steal of the draft?
I think so. I mean, the guy's very talented. I mean, I reckon this guy would have been a third rounder this year if he had played last season. The college system fucked him over basically and made him ineligible. But he kept himself sharp. He kept himself fit. He kept himself in the rooms, listening to the guys, train every day with them. So again, a very good professional. And I think, he's got style, man. The way he runs. Obviously not going to be AP or anything like that, but he's that type of. He's elusive like that. He's got that sideways lateral movements, which B-Rob doesn't have. And this guy could be the steal of the draft. I mean, a seventh rounder, that is definitely you're taking a flyer on the guy. But man, I mean, he's definitely talented. Definitely,
I agree with that. He is talented. That's 100%. Could he be running back 3? Yes, probably is already. When we look at it that way,
yeah, he is already. Yeah,
I mean, could he be running back 1? Yeah, maybe, but not. I don't think he will be straight away. I think Jesse's got a point where he's saying the B-Rob hate is unreal. I don't hate Brian Robinson.
I don't hate B-Rob. I don't hate Rob. I just think this guy could be a number 1 RB1. That's the reason why I'm saying maybe he could get caught.
I think B-Rob's vision can be lead a little bit to be desired. He seems to run up the back of one's offensive lineman a lot as well. He's an angry runner, which is good, but it's when he doesn't break out or give you that breakout. Vision and awareness and speed to just disappear and be like, oh, I'm a home run hitter. People want to see a Jahmyr Gibbs, an Adrian Peterson back in his day, that sort of thing. It's not all about being a big back who's going to run over people. You do need that, absolutely. Is Krosky Merritt going to be a 3-down back? I don't know. I think it's going to take a while to build that up, but could he play a part on this team? Absolutely. Absolutely. Jesse's got a question for us. He says, hypothetical question here. Win back-to-back Super Bowls and miss the playoffs for 5 years after, or roll the dice and try and build and win more. What would you do, Scouse?
Oh, give me the back-to-back Super Bowls. I'd rather have the guarantee. I'd rather have that guarantee of 2 back-to-back Super Bowls, being honest with you. Oh, yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Okay, you miss the next players next 5 years. Okay, but a rebuild can take that long. We've been through the pain of ridiculous long rebuilds that didn't even work. So if it's a case of win back-to-back Super Bowls now, miss players for 5 years, rebuild, and then start going again, I'm all for it. Give me those back-to-back Super Bowls, man.
You see, I don't know about that because
that's guaranteed, man. That's guaranteed. You're not guaranteed shit. Even if you try to win more, you don't know. You're guaranteed 2 Super Bowls there in that hypothetical question.
I know, but if you're going to miss the playoffs,
mate, we're used to missing the playoffs, bro.
Do you move on from JD at that point? Do you know what I mean?
Hell no.
You don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't know the situation then.
But don't forget, in 3 years, he's going to be $17 million a year. That's what he's going to be at. So then you're looking at, okay, can he afford a superstar team or a team that might be good enough to be legit going forward? You're guaranteed 2 Super Bowls. Give me it now.
You'd do an LA Rams and then rebuild slowly, man. Would you?
I mean, look at the things we talk about Hendrickson. I want to win now. We're nearly there. We just need a couple of extra pieces. And I just think, he's one of them. And I think we need to go out there and get it done. If it costs us next year's first or second, whatever the fuck it is, get it done. Because I want to win now. I want to win 2 Super Bowls, man. like Jesse there. I want 2 Super Bowls back to back. That's what I want. We've never done that.
I'd definitely take that. Back-to-back. 2 Super Bowls, especially back to back. That'd be amazing.
Right, you changed your mind there, didn't you? Change your mind quick.
No, no. I'm saying, why would you want to rebuild? Do you know what I mean? I don't.
We used to rebuild.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Forget that.
Nothing's guaranteed. Suzanne has a question here. She said, "Will Luke McCaffrey get more opportunities now that OZ and Diami Brown are gone?"
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, there's not many guys in the way in front of him right now. I mean, there's the new guy to get, but he's a punt returner. I mean, unless this guy's amazing at route running, he should be kind of wide receiver 4. And I think McCaffrey should be 3 at this moment. But what are you thinking?
Noah
Brown
at all. Noah Brown. Gallup, if he's anything like he was. Come on.
The thing is, though, with Gallup, you just don't know what you're going to get. This guy could be. He could be if he was 2022 or it was 2021. Gallup when he was great.
Ridiculous.
Okay,
ridiculous.
He's wide receiver 2, and Debo will be demoted to gadget man wide receiver 3 type of guy. But if he's not that guy anymore, then he's going to be 4th, 5th on his own.
I think Jalen Lane shows out a bit and gives you a bit more than just being a punt returner. Maybe it's rookie season. I don't know.
And just hope. Yeah, I mean, I say this guy could be better than we know. I say I've not really seen him play a lot in game. Everyone says about how good he is in punt returns, and yeah, sure, you can always look at highlights on YouTube, but that doesn't really tell you a player. So it's kind of, we know he's fast. He's got good hands. Okay, that's a great start. How good is he with route running? No, that's the difference. Can he get the nuances of it straight away or not? I say it might take him a year or 2. You just don't know yet. But if he's got it and he's sharp straight away, then you know what? Then he could be fighting for starting position. Who knows? For starting spot. You just don't know at this moment. It's so up in the air because you haven't seen these guys. You've not seen how EQ's talking about it or talking about him or how good he is or anything like that. You've not heard anything. So it's hard at the moment to truly guess it.
The other thing as well is you've got to remember here for Luke McCaffrey is he hasn't actually been playing the position for so long. So he's new to the position as well.
Until last year.
2 years. 2 years. Yeah, not long at all.
You lost so much money on anytime score. Yeah. Just don't do it, mate.
that makes
I
two
did
of us,
once
Lawrence.
and learned a lesson. I was like, no, mate. This guy ain't
it was like Jesse's bet every time Ben Sinnott every week. And then
he came on, he did fucking offside and cost us a nice drive. That's the only thing he did.
He did get us a touchdown though. I can't remember who it was against, but he did get 1 TD last year.
And we got like 30 up or something stupid.
I think he was against the Panthers, but don't quote me on that.
Absolutely shite.
Yeah, it was just I hope Luke McCaffrey gets more targets. I hope he's able to get into the more into the game and into the games, but I think he's going to struggle. I think he's more like a kick returns again, because I probably don't think they're going to want to put Austin Eckler back there as they did, especially with the concussion issues. And I also think that he might end up just being the special team guy. You know what I mean? I really do. He might struggle here, depending on what the wide receiver room's going to shake out at. I mean, if we think about it, we definitely... So, Terry, Debo, there's definitely two spots. Kept 7 last year. You got Gallup, Jalen Lane, that's 4. Noah Brown, that's 5. Now we've got 2 spots for however many receivers. What's the other guy? He used to be at Minnesota called... Osborne. KJ Osborne.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not beating KJ Osborne out on a depth chart, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There is a problem. Yeah. But I do think he's better than that. I do think he would probably... But is he wide receiver 5? Is he wide receiver 6? It's tough. It's going to be tough for Luke McCaffrey, I think. I really do think it's going to be tough for him.
I definitely think he's dropped... I mean, after you saying that, I forgot about a couple of guys there. I definitely think he's dropped down a couple of spots with some of the guys we've brought in. So it might be quite hard for him to get some opportunities. But to be fair, at least the pressure's now off him. Before he was coming in, he had to play. He was wide receiver 3. The thing is that I always found with McCaffrey, he was getting open, especially the first half of the season. He was getting open a lot, but JD just didn't go through the reads of his third read because he already got rid of the ball. It was like 1, 2, gone. It wasn't like, away from your third or fourth read, which was 9 out of 10 was McCaffrey. You know what I mean? So it just didn't have enough. Either it didn't have enough time, or the ball was already gone beforehand. So it's just one of them for him.
Yes, I do think it's going to be tough for him. But he's young. He's 24.
Oh yes, there's no pressure on him now. Now he can truly learn the actual position. Before he's trying to learn on the fly. It's difficult to do that.
As a third round pick, it's
and that was a reach. I mean, we know that was a reach. We said that before. I mean, I had him in most of my mocks last year, but it was around 6.
Yeah,
it wasn't round 3, because he is a prospect. He's still raw. There's no other nuance of the game yet at receiver.
But they went for athleticism, didn't they? And they said, you know what, he obviously that's their board.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, and he is athletic. He's not like he's not athletic. It's just, it's I say just at the moment he's just not that. He's just not that man. He's not that boy yet. So we'll see. We'll see how he goes. Hopefully, he get better. Yes. He's got 4 years, 3 more years on our contract unless we cut him. So
Jesse says wide receiver 1, Terry, Debo 2, Noah Brown 3, McCaffrey 4, Lane 5. So you're not backing Gallup then at all. Then okay, that's interesting. I think Gallup's going to be a steal. I really do. I think he'll be all right.
I mean, as I say, you just don't know what this knee's like. You just don't know what it's like.
No idea.
Let's face it, he came back. Then he got traded to the Raiders, and then he went, I'm not playing here. And
he retired. He retired.
He retired, and that was it. And then all of a sudden he comes out of retirement for us. So I don't know what that was. Sounds a bit weird, that.
Okay.
But again, I mean, to be fair, if you look at the names though, that's actually reasonable depth. That really.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't even mentioned Osborne, who's probably wide receiver 7.
There you go. That's what I mean.
That's a pretty solid receiver room, really. So it's, I mean, JD's got no excuses, man. I don't think he's got no excuse. I know he played great last year. But
let's not hype them up and say that it's Jamar Chase and fucking. Do you know what I mean? It's not. We're not at that level, are we? Do you know what I mean? T. Higgins and Chase, but
Terry's our Chase, man. Terry's our Chase.
Sue Spur put a question to us. He said, I'm tired of talking Tush Push. It's time to talk about something else. Okay, well, sorry about that. Just ignore the Tush Push chat that we had maybe 10 minutes ago.
That's how we didn't stay on it for too long, because I know everybody else, every other podcaster in the world, not just Washington, but everybody in the whole NFL have been hammering it for ages. So
I know, I mean, off the field issues, Lawrence says here. I mean, I don't necessarily.
Is that about Gallup, Lawrence? Is that about Gallup?
I don't think it's necessarily off the field issues for Michael Gallup. I just think he just didn't want to play in Vegas. He just looked at it and went, "Who am I taking a rep from? What have you got here, quarterback?"
Their receivers crap. I mean, not receivers. Their quarterback is a gaff. Let's face it.
But when I listen to his interviews, I know you're in that bubble where you're getting interviewed by the team that you've just signed for. So of course you're going to say, "I love it," or it's going to be amazing, and you're hyping it up. But I got a sense that he really wants to be here and he really wants to play here. Listen, he could have gone to any team out of retirement, and he's on a vet minimum contract. It's $136,000. We've got undrafted free agents who have signed for more money than that. So, it's a gamble, but he's gambling on himself, isn't he? And that's the point. He's gambling on himself to say, I am still good enough for this game.
I'm good enough. I'm not too old just yet. He did get this guy got $100 million contract, before he got hurt.
I know. It's ridiculous.
This guy's obviously got some talent. It's just a case of is that knee as good as it was before you blew it in half, basically. That's the problem. We just don't know what he's like. But he's had 18 months now, really, to be kind of truly NFL kind of ready again. Besides, obviously, contact. Yeah. Besides that, I mean,
but you don't know. You don't know what he's actually going to be like, is he?
You don't know. Yeah. You get those pads on and you go full pelt. Just don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
But it's interesting. He's one of those Jack in the Box guys. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, he's 20. He's 29 now. So I mean, just literally turned 29.
Retired for 18 months as well. So
3,744 yards, 86 games played, 21 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, it's, Christ, what did we have last year? Do you know what I mean? Or the year before? I mean, if you'd have said to me, that's going to be your wide receiver 6, I'd take that in a heartbeat. I would absolutely take that in a heartbeat. Shout out, James. Yeah, hello, James. Thank you for being with us.
High upside and not really expecting anything from him. So, so Lawrence mentioned.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. I think it was more of a mental health stuff. Yeah, I understand where he's saying.
Like mental health is
in the right headspace.
Oh my god, this quarterback's going to kill me. I don't need this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That was mental health, mate. That was his mental health right there. Like, I'm thinking about this. Should I really take fucking high and across the middle passes from this douche? Nah, not really. Mental health. I'm retiring, boys.
who was the QB in Vegas? Oh my god, Aiden O'Connell, wasn't it? That's
Yeah,
it was.
I mean,
wow.
I said this guy's not going to win you no games. He's not going to put the ball in the perfect place. He's going to make it harder for your receivers. He's going to get them killed. You know, the only stud there has been Brock Bowers. That's the only two stud there, mate.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got another one in Genty. That's a certainty. I think he's.
Oh yeah, well now, yeah, it's different now.
That's my bet for offensive rookie of the year straight away, without even questioning it. He's going to be awesome. But there you go.
Well, Carroll's going back to what he does best originally, wasn't it? Good run game.
Exactly that.
He's hoping he's going to be a Marshawn Lynch. You know, those type of things. That's what he's going to expect. So
our next question, Hog on the Mountain. He said, off the field talk has been nothing but pass rusher, but the run defense was the actual Achilles heel last year. Have the team done enough to plug holes in the run defense?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, they've got bigger bodies up front. You know, Kinlaw is our biggest acquisition besides Debo on a free agent on the free open market. I mean, I think they're going to try and hide that deficiency as best they can with the edge rusher. But the thing is, though, it's like anything. You know, if you play kind of say you're playing a 3-4 set and you've got like three big guys at the front, they're going to be reasonably narrow. So they're going to run to the edge anyway, where your edge rusher, which you just don't have. Okay? So they run right past that guy, whoever's there. So they're going to find ways. And then if you go too wide, then they'll bring it back into the middle, which I think that's what they're going to more try and do. Is try and bring the ball back into the middle.
Elephant end, isn't it? That's what.
That's what Kimmel's going to be doing. Is just basically set that edge fully and just don't let anyone get out the outside of them, and then push everybody else in the middle where we are a bit stronger. You know, we've got Goldman, we've got Payne, we've got Newton. So we have got some solid guys in the middle. So I think that's how we're going to try and mask it.
So I'm having a look. I'm having a look here at the.
We've done enough.
I mean,
I don't know. I think that's the question.
The team here, I'm looking at it right now, and obviously projected starters at the minute in a 4-3 base defense. They're saying Dorrance Armstrong, Jerome Payne, Kinlaw, Dietrich Wise, and then the seconds are Jacob Martin, Jason Newton, Eddie Goldman, Cleveland Farrell, Jalen Holmes, Pollard, Sheldon Day, Javonte Jean-Baptiste is still here. Andre Jones Jr. is still here as well. So there's bits and pieces, but every single person I've just mentioned there has started games for this team. So it's not or are brand new and started games in the NFL. So it's not as if they haven't got anything in the building. But what they have brought in the offseason, to answer Hog on a Mountain's questions, is they've brought in bigger dudes who can set the edge. You know, I'm not expecting Goldman as a nose tackle to play all that much. You know, he wouldn't be playing loads and loads of snaps. Kinlaw, you're right, biggest acquisition. Is he going to be a bit of a hybrid end stroke? You know, who knows what he's going to do. He's not really a pass rusher, never really has been at San Francisco or at the Jets, and he's kind of
I think his best year 4.5 sacks, so it's not the unexpected miracles from the guy.
But he can set the run. And that's something Cleveland Farrell couldn't do. That's something Dorrance Armstrong couldn't do.
And we've still got those guys.
Yeah, but they're not starters.
So this is the thing. It's like
Dorrance Armstrong is your only starter out of them two. He's not a starter, Cleveland Farrell. That's not what he's been brought in to do.
Hey, so this guy was number 3 overall, wasn't he?
Come on, man. Yeah. By the Raiders. Fucking Raiders. The Raiders have had more busts than you've had hot dinners. He's had more busts than you've had hot dinners, the Raiders. Come on.
Mike Myers played the draft, remember? Come on, lad.
Unbelievable.
But man. He's not. He's and plus he has a bad knee that he just can't. He can't train.
Correct.
So he only plays games. He's always on the injury list, and he only does very minimal in training, which doesn't help.
Lawrence says here, would you straight up trade Payne for Hendrickson? In a heartbeat. I think you'd need more than that for Hendrickson. I think you have to give up some more picks. I mean, the talk was a 2027 second and something else, maybe a fifth next year in 2026, or even a pick swap or something ridiculous. Look, I'd give them, you said it last week, you'd give them the first round pick in 2027. Would you give them the 2026 first round pick?
Probably not, probably next year's one, but I think 27 I would.
Oh, you see, this is the point, isn't it? What is it worth? And again, that's the point Jesse made in our chat earlier. It's about age as well, but it's also about eliteness. He is elite, as you said last year. He is the top of the tree. I mean, the stats. I mean, we can't always go off stats, and
these guys don't come up that often. This is why
look at what you said last week with your stats. Bottom third, or were they bottom? I think the absolute bottom. Yeah.
They were ranked 32nd when he wasn't on the field on defense.
There you go.
Throughout every stat you could think of, they were 32nd when he wasn't on the field. When he were on the field, they were mid, they were like kind of 12th, 15th, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's like, that makes a big difference for one dude not being on the field. That's a big difference. 18 and a half sacks last 2 years, 18 sacks per year.
He is elite.
This guy's the real deal, man. I mean, he knows what he's doing. And it's a position that that's the only glaring hole. I know you worried about safety, but I'm not really worried too much. I think Harris is all right. I think he'll do a good job. But we need.
Sorry, I've just seen Jesse's there. What are you talking about? Unbelievable.
They need another wide receiver.
I mean, I suppose the other one Lawrence says there, you trade the first round pick when the draft's in DC. That's probably not a good idea.
Oh yeah, didn't think about that. Yeah. Do 27. Yeah. No.
Yeah, absolutely not a good idea. But if you can get away with this, if you can get away with like a second and a sixth, or a second and a fifth, the only thing is, I hope that AP is like constantly on the phone, like a scam caller. Do you know what I mean? Constantly on the phone to him, going, "Hello, I'm here again."
Your bank account, so called.
Every time, yeah. I mean, I hope he's there every morning at 9 a.m. He's checking in. Hi, I'm just checking in again. Just checking in again.
Are you ready to trade him yet? Ready?
Just keep going, because you're right. They don't come on the market. He's not happy there. It's clear, and it's clear that they're not willing to pay him.
They're not going to pay him. That's the thing. They're not going to pay him. They haven't even spoke to him over the offseason. It's like, mate, this guy's got like his last year on his deal. He wanted to get paid last year, and he still went, okay, now I'll play him this year. I'll prove it again that I can do another big season. And he did. He did exactly what he said he was going to do, and they still left him hanging. So I'd be fuming as well. And I'll be saying, get me out of here. If I'm my agent, I'm like, get me out of here. Forget this fool. The fools.
Say Payne, as it offsets the contract you would be getting to give to Hendrickson. I understand the talk on the contract. People saying, can we afford him? Can we not? We're at 20 million.
Can the Bengals afford Payne?
No, probably not.
After paying Chase 40 odd and whatever. It's Higgins 30 plus, Burrow 50 plus. They've gone all out on their offense. You know what I mean? So it's
Ojulari, Jadeveon Clowney, Zadarius Smith. One of these will be in before training camp, mate. That's what's going to happen. We'll get halfway through training camp, and Clowney will turn up. The old.
You wouldn't realise that power, isn't it? Which didn't realise it from last year. Didn't realize, you know what I mean? And then you realise they got zero edge, zero
favorite Washington memory. Stuart says, "What's your favorite Washington memory?" That's a great shout. Ooh.
I mean, you'll probably go back to your RG knee, buddy.
Yeah, it will be.
Probably, won't you?
Yeah, of course it is. Absolutely, RG knee down the sideline. That's exactly
how you got into the team. So
that was it. Boom, done.
I don't know, man. Maybe Washington memory.
Recently, I would say the Cowboys away Thanksgiving game, the wave.
Oh yeah, when Gibson did the three.
That was awesome. Yeah,
3 TDs. I've got a signed picture of him up there actually with that in that game where Van Der Esch is on his face. Trying to tackle him, he's laid out on the floor. It's brilliant. That was a good one. I mean, obviously the Monday Night Miracle as well. Santana Moss, Dallas. Another amazing kind of comeback. What was the one where was it Dallas again? I can't remember if it's a different Dallas game or it might be the same. I can't remember, but But basically, they got all the way down to like kind of field goal range, and it was like 5 seconds to go or something stupid like that. And we blocked the field goal.
Yeah.
And it came back, and Sean Taylor brought it back all the way up.
Run it back. Yeah, it was against.
Run it back, but then he got.
It might be against it was Eagles.
He got tackled, and it was the end of the game. But it was a penalty on the game, so they give us one extra play. Right. And we with that, we got to the field goal, and we put it through the back of through the post and won it. So really, we should have lost, but really, we snatched that win. I mean, that was So that was one of my favourites, to be fair.
Jesse, that's the first game I've ever seen us play live. So yes, ideally, it was a great memory. I didn't get a chance to go and get tickets in 2016 to watch us play in Cincinnati over here in the UK, and I'd never been to FedEx as it was at the time.
Yeah, that was a good memory as well. Actually, meeting Trevor
Lawrence's mum. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence's dad.
They were literally the row behind us, weren't they? Yeah.
Strip club with a former president.
We were there giving it a lot. We were there. Yeah. Another one. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Block field goal versus Dallas and Sean Taylor.
To be fair, I think it was sporting memories though more than that off the field.
Sporting memories, yeah, not off the field memories. I mean, yeah, but sporting memories, yeah, probably that's it. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Alison, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here. I did put it up there and Scouse took it off. So
I was just at the same time. I was just going to put it up.
There you go, mate. There you go.
Man,
but yeah,
good to see you, Alison. I'll speak to
you. All good. Any other memories that stick out for you?
You can be quiet about the president.
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, we moved on. That's after dark. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
Well, we are past the watershed over here, so I don't know.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's 10:00 at night, Scouse. Come on, man. Trying to think of any other sporting memories around the team and around the Redskins or in and around Washington football team.
Of course, when Dan Snyder left, that was the other one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. There's loads, man. There's loads you can speak about. You know,
comeback win against Green Bay on my birthday a couple of years ago. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Russ. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Very, very good. We've got Canada Mike's rants now, mate.
Oh yeah, we do. There's one more question before that. I think
one more question. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Trying to find it in the. Let's talk Gabe Taylor.
Oh, good shout. Yeah, I haven't heard much more on Gabe Taylor on whether he's got a 50, whether he's got a 90-man roster spot, or whether he is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll move on. Or whether he is just here still on a trial basis. I know he had his trial, but didn't hear much out of it. He looked good on some of the, on some of the pictures that we saw of him hitting a bag. But then again, it is May. We're not in pads. We're in shorts and t-shirt. I don't know. I wish him the best. I hope he does. He does what he does.
Did we sign him, or did we not sign him? I don't know.
We haven't yet. No, we haven't yet. However, nothing as far as I'm aware. But we did remove a safety spot off the roster, off the 90-man roster. So there is a spot available. We have 89 men at the moment. So
you think Taylor could be the last one there? I mean, yeah. I'd say yeah. Jesse's probably right. To be fair, I mean, Gabe probably isn't making the team. I mean, I say we just don't. Of course, it's a great story. Him wanting to come here and emulate his brother and play the same position as his brother and there's so many different things. But some of the things when it first happened, when he first said that he was coming to us, to try out and stuff, and it was all like give him 36, and then all of a sudden it'll be give him 21. It's like
no,
mate, you've got to be an insanely good player to even get anywhere near
no one would have that number.
And I'm talking, the only one who could get it would probably be Gabe. You know what I mean? Like, if he was good enough, and I'm talking like if he was anywhere near what his brother was, but no chance. We know he's not good enough because if he was, he'd be signed already. Yeah.
By 18,
so we know he's not. He knows he's at that level. So it's kind of like, well, nice to have him on the team. What can he do? Is he any good? We don't really know. He's definitely not getting those special numbers. No chance. So.
Yeah, Ellison's right here. He said he's a rookie camp tryout and as of now possibly coming in for mini camp and vet camp this summer. Well, good luck to him. I hope he does well. Do you know what I mean? I really do. But that's it. You're right, Lawrence. Sean Taylor was a one-off. That's it. End of.
Oh yeah, of
You're
course.
absolutely right.
Of course. That's why I said it's not going to be better than him. It's going to be like anywhere near that level, if that makes sense. Because we know how good he was and how special he would have been.
Has he got the attributes? Has he got a future Gabe Taylor in the league? Most probably, yeah. But it takes time. Like anything, you don't know. We don't know. But obviously, from what we've seen so far, hitting pads and whatever else,
I've heard rumors saying that he'd probably be a better running back than he would be a safety. But he wants to play safety because his brother plays safety. So it's kind of, I think, mate, you need to kind of make your decision on where you want to play and how good are you? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. So it's one of them, man.
There you go. Oh, you put that up at the same time I did as well. There you go. We'll go back. Yeah, got it. There you go, Lawrence. So yeah, Gabe was also a basketball star throughout his high school, switched to football, going into college. There you go. So
yeah. So again, a bit of a lack of experience, really. Again, he's only had his 3 years of college? Is it 4 years of college you get?
4, yeah. 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So again, he's not played football a lot, really. Considering if he hasn't played it, if you didn't play it in high school, for example, you just play basketball, for example. So yeah,
he's athletic and he's got the traits. Do you know what I mean?
He's got the genetics. I think he's got the genetics, like we think with McCaffrey. We say the same thing about McCaffrey, don't we? So. I hope it goes well. I hope he can prove us all wrong and get on the team and hopefully get some minutes on the actual field. But I'm hoping for him, rooting for him. But at the moment, it doesn't look great. But we'll see.
No, you're right. So it's my favourite part of the show, Scouse.
We did. Ian's got one in there.
Thought you'd have your game jersey for and behind you by now. No, mate, no.
You know what it is, mate? He's a minge bag. That's the problem. Absolute stinge. She's like, oh, mate, how much is that for a frame? Behave.
150 quid 3 times round. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, what's that? Nothing, is it?
I've got a wife and kids to feed, mate. No, you're all right.
And Madrid to pay for.
Exactly. And one eats me at house and home. So there you go. No, it's but it is what it is. 6'2", he can start paying board. Yeah, no, exactly. Canada Mike's rants, mate. We'll get into it.
Oh,
Canada Mike's rants. Here we go. So he says KC who we will beat, by the way, will be one of the hardest games on the schedule. The next 2 will be the Eagles, with potentially the last game meaning nothing. Do you think the NFL is doing us a favour and wants us to be the next dynasty team just to annoy Dan Snyder?
I'm gonna say yeah. I think that's an actual good shout. I'm not saying it'll be KC. I'm talking about the second bit of that.
Not beating the Eagles, or the dynasty, the dynasty.
Become the dynasty of kind of like putting, those kind of things in.
Well, look at that. You've got the draft. You've got the new stadium.
Everything's all happening now. Dan Snyder's gone. Everything that we wanted as fans, it's happening. And Hard Knocks as well now, and we got JD. So everyone wants to know more about us because. Let's face it, we've been in the wilderness for so long. That's why we don't have any young fans anymore. But now we're starting to get some again. Because we've actually got some actual reasonable team. So with a great quarterback. So but yeah, I do. I think the NFL are pushing it. I think they are. They're gonna try and help us as much. I think before I'd say no, but I'd say now, yeah. As you say, because he's right. The last game of the season against them might not mean anything for anyone. We both could be already qualified for playoffs. Let's face it, we could be. Both of us could be in there already. Last game doesn't mean anything then. Where we could have put that early on in the season, where it would have mattered a lot more. So, I think he's right. I do think he's right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that there was a lot going on in the background around Washington at the minute and around obviously JD and around everything else that's happening and how this team is on an upward trajectory. And that's exactly where you want to be as a team, especially when you look at the primetime games, you look at 8 standalone games in total, and then you look at what we've got going on, drafts. We talked about the RFK moves, and then we've got everything else. We're the Newcastle of the NFL. Russ, I really hope that is the case because that's where I'm from originally. So I'm half my family black and whites. the other. I don't sound like it, mate. Yeah. Cheers, Scouse. Yeah. I mean, you try and grow up as a military brat, mate, and that's how it works. So,
well, if you speak German, I don't. You know what I mean? Like...
Well, that's very true. That's very true. But it's one of them. You can't even speak English, lad. But there you go.
Well, it's out to me, isn't it? Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But no, man.
Newcastle. No, to be fair, I don't think with the Newcastle, the NFL. I mean, if you're going to go back to history, they've won nothing in 50 years, 70 years. We've won three balls.
More Forest, that's a good shout. More Forest than Newcastle, former glory.
Aston Villa, I agree a bit more with that. Yeah, because we were the best at one point. You know what I mean? Like we were the best, and it's been a while, and we're coming back up just like Forest. So yeah, I think Forest is a lot more us. I think.
Good shout. Sure. I like
that. So Suzanne mentions here, Snyder applied for UK citizenship and has lived in the UK, won the sports teams. I keep saying to Burrows, I said, yeah, man, he's going to buy Spurs.
He keeps wanting to buy Spurs, doesn't he? He really does. He's
he wants a London team. He wants a London team, so it'll be interesting. He's a fucking nightmare.
Brentford's new chairman.
Who?
Brentford's new chairman. Maybe there's an application at Barnet FC. You know what I mean? In League
you can buy them if you want. Yeah.
Well, our owners owns 25% of the Jags, so you know what I mean. It's
our owner. I thought it was
in Carlisle's.
Oh yeah.
He owns 25% of the Jag, or 15%. Sorry, of the Jag.
Josh Harris was in the FA
Cup. Josh Harris's Palace. Yeah, he was at the FA Cup.
Oh, it's all, isn't it? Right there, the front. First time he's actually felt lifting trophy.
Yeah, I mean it's great though, isn't it? It's great to not see Manchester City win a trophy, and Arsenal.
That'd be funny, mate, as well. I just love Man United being fifth bottom total.
It's crazy. I mean, can you imagine though? Genuine question. I know we're going off here, and Lawrence has probably gone. Yeah, see you later, mate. I'm off now. But if you could, can you imagine like if one of them teams who went down like a Leicester won a couple more games, and
I know.
I know. Absolute brown pants moment for Amorim there, isn't it?
Do you know that he hasn't scored against anybody besides the bottom three and in Europe? He hasn't scored against anybody.
Swear JD was at the cup final.
Bottom three teams and in Europe. That's the only time he scored goals. He's their best player. Awful, me.
Swear JD was at the cup final taking photos with Eze at the end.
No, yeah, I know that guy as well. I thought that was a JD now. I know he wasn't, but it didn't half look like him. Totally,
You're right.
Yeah, man, I was saying the same thing at the same time. It's like, wow, what's JD doing there? Oh no, it's not JD.
So Canada Mike, I think you've got a point, mate, on that one. So he says his next one is, do you like me think the opening game will be a blowout win and the biggest ever win you will ever see live? No, Mike. No, it'll be a nail biter and we'll win by like 6. You know what I mean? It's always like that. You see it all the time, Scouse. It's family business, isn't it? It's family business.
Family business. It hits different for these players. It really does. We know how important a win in the division is. So that's why we call it family business. And there's more on it. Even though it's first game of the season, there's more on it. It kind of feels like 1.5 games if you win. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just one win. Just because of that head-to-head record potentially going on later on in the season when it counts more. But yeah, I mean, we've been there before. Week 1, we watched the Giants. And we were both gaff. Let's face it, both of us weren't very good. Still getting used to things and all the rest of it, working things out. And we won with the 7 field goals, didn't we? We saw history, which was great. We saw history, but yeah, no, that I would want to see that type of history. Really, I just want to see us. I want us to win by like 14 and have an easy day, have a nice day. But yeah, it won't be. It'll be tight. It'll be tight until like the mid 4th, end of the 4th, close to the end of the 4th.
Yeah, I was thinking this exactly that Lawrence, talking about potential matchups between Abdul Carter and Josh Connolly. Their defense is actually better than people make out, and we all bag on the Giants, and I do think they will I think they'll finish 3rd in the division this year. I really do. I think George Pickens is going to fall out with Dallas. because he's just a diva. And I think maybe Dak gets injured again. Who knows? And Dallas will be bottom of the NFC East. You can mark my words on that. Come back and bookmark this 110 on the 22nd of May, episode 119. Scott says Dallas finish bottom. They will. They really will. I just think their defense at New York is going to win them a couple of games. I mean, you got Sexy Dexy, you've got Thibodeau, you've got bloody Abdul Carter, you've got Brian Burns. They've got decent corners as well. You know what I mean? The safeties are pretty good. They're gonna have they're all right. Their defense will be okay, and it will win them a few games. The question mark for Dallas, as always, is for New York is what is going on at quarterback. That is the problem. I mean, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they've got Wilson. They've got Winston.
Jameis, so, Tommy Cutler starting QB1. I mean, Jackson Dart. What happens there? Who knows, mate? But it's not my problem. And to be honest with you, we'll leave it to Baldy Dayball. Don't care.
Yeah.
Still hate the Giants, but yeah,
I just like seeing them implode, and that's what they do, man. They implode after about 5-6 games. They just don't implode, and that's the end of them, Correct.
So, I think Neighbours is a weapon, but that's about it. Realistically,
yeah. I mean, Scatterby as well. I think plays for them now.
I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well
him as a running back. I think he'll do some damage, especially if we can't stop the run. He will damage us if we don't. If we haven't fixed it, he'll make us pay. So, but besides that, yeah, you're right. I mean, am I scared of Russell Wilson? No. I mean, maybe 5 years ago, when he was decent still, but now he's just a waste of time. So, yeah, I'm good. I think we'll win that game, and I think I wouldn't say comfortably, but good kind of 4 to 6 points, as you said before yourself.
Yeah, I think so. Next question, he says, is with the winter sun in Madrid and a couple of birthdays to celebrate, plus a huge win against Miami, will some fans even make it home to the UK?
Probably not. Might probably end up in jail for probably a week and then come on later after that. Yeah,
Jesse's not going home, is he?
Yeah, I mean, he just looks like a terrorist, don't he, with that beard? You know what I mean? So.
Jesse will be smuggled across a border via Gibraltar. He'll end up in an African, he's end up smuggled into Tunisia or into Morocco, and then away from there. It's like, what the hell's happening? Especially if Scousey says he won't wear if he wears that pink suit. Yeah, dead on, absolutely dead on. But,
True.
No, we'll all be all right.
Yeah, you're right. Wilson did beat us last year, but I mean that was the team stuff, and it was like one moon ball. That was really
George Pickens,
and that was it.
And to be honest with you, look at the corners he was going up against.
He was up against Sambestrel that ball actually, but
okay.
But it was a great pass. That was the only one though. I mean, I say, yeah, they got away with it big. No, they nicked it. We were so far clear, and when we just played, safe ball, and we ended up getting beat by a point, wasn't it? We lost
yeah.
So I say, am I scared? Am I scared of Wilson? No, I'm not scared of him. We'll take
last question then from Canada Mike, and it's a stupid one, as is tradition with Canada Mike. We finish off with this. He said, with the Cowboys and Giants being 4 guaranteed wins and one of the Eagles' games being a dead rubber, are you more scared of the bye week than anyone in the NFC East? No, I genuinely think the Eagles are the most complete team in football. Unfortunate to say. I hate it.
And they drafted quite well as well.
They're a very good side. They're a very good side, and they had a good draft again. Are we closer to what they were? Yes, I believe we are closer to where we were last year. We talked about it before. We've got better on run defense, and we've got run stoppers, which will help. We've got people who can set an edge, which can help. I think the offensive line has got great. It's got a lot better than it has been. We've got depth there as well in the offensive line, which is something we haven't had for a long time. You're not scratching around going, holy shit, it's Cornelius Lucas and Trent Scott out there, or who's this guy that we've got in off the street, you know what I mean? I mean, Scouse, I thought they were going to give you a call at one point a couple of years ago to say, "Come on, start suiting up at centre." But we've got some decent depth in there now with people who've started games in the NFL before. You know, I mean, Nate Herbig is not a bum. You know, and let's be honest, he was Pittsburgh's. He's going to be Pittsburgh's starting centre, and that's the thing. Like, you know, signed a decent deal and blew his knee out, and you think, okay, it's probably not ideal. But he's come back since that. But there you go. Well, that about does us anyway, Scouse. Thanks to everybody who put a question in. We will be back on next week trying to talk about something else. There's been a lot of talk about hats and t-shirts and all that sort of stuff. Just give us a DM on Twitter. We'll try and sort something out to get some hats and t-shirts printed and whatever before Madrid.
Yeah, man.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Sounds good, man.
But yeah. Anything more from you?
Nah, I'm good, mate.
You good? All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.